Members of the 64th Legislature, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I now present the Honorable E. James Burke, Chief Justice of the Wyoming Supreme Court.
Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, Governor, Mrs. Meade, members of the 64th Wyoming Legislature, elected officials, members of the Judiciary, guests and citizens of the state of Wyoming. It is an honor to speak to you on behalf of the dedicated men and women who serve in the judicial branch of our state's government. Thank you, President Bebout, Speaker Harshman, for the opportunity to do so. A couple days ago, Governor Meade suggested that we switch speeches, that I take on his speech and then he'd take on my speech. I'd listened to some of them over the years and debated the pros and cons of that offer. And I wish I had taken that offer, Governor. That was a stirring, wonderful speech. And we are lucky in this state for that you have been in office for this time. And I will tell you, I just returned from the Conference of Chief Justices, and they still are talking about your presentation in Jackson on the importance of a strong judiciary. And I told them that this was going to be your last State of the State presentation, to which more than one renewed their offer that you move from Wyoming to their state and run for governor there. So again, thank you very much. I take my cue today for my remarks from the finals competition of the We the People program held in Laramie a few weeks ago. Most of you are familiar with the program, and many of you have served as judges for the competition. It is a high school civics program. Students from around the state represent their schools in competition designed to demonstrate their understanding of our Constitution. The winning team represents Wyoming during the national competition in Washington, D.C. The official name of the program is We the People, the Citizen and the Constitution. And the program strives to prepare each student to become knowledgeable and engaged citizens. If you have had the opportunity to see these students in action, you have no doubt that that goal will be achieved. Warren Buffett once noted, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." Since 1987, approximately 6,000 Wyoming students have participated in the competitive hearings. We have no doubt that the investment made yesterday in those students will pay significant dividends for those students and our communities in the years to come. Matt Stranagan has been heading up the program for over 20 years. He and all who have made that program possible deserve our thanks and our congratulations. In preparing for the contest, students gain a clear understanding of the ideals and principles that serve as the foundation for the Constitution and our system of government. I'd like to focus on one of those ideals. It's embodied in the first sentence of our Constitution. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. It ends our Pledge of Allegiance with liberty and justice for all. Justice for all. That's the touchstone, isn't it? When we provide an update on the state of the judiciary, that should be our measuring stick, shouldn't it? Are we making progress? Are we moving closer to that ultimate goal? I'm pleased to say that with your help, continued support from the executive branch, investment by our communities and our citizens, and the unwavering commitment of the men and women in our judicial branch, we continue to progress. Because we are all pulling together towards that common goal, I can confidently report that the state of our judiciary is strong. We are making progress on a number of fronts. The Sweetwater County Justice Center will be opening this spring. The building will house the circuit courts, previously split between Rock Springs and Green River, the public defender's office, and the county attorney. The efficiencies from the combination of courts are immense. According to one judge, the days of shuttling people around are over. It's now one-stop shopping. The move will also free up much-needed additional space for the district courts in Sweetwater County. In the words of Judge Prokos, the new facility is a game changer for the justice system in Sweetwater County. In 2016, the legislature authorized a 4th district judge in Laramie County. In May of last year, Laramie County voters approved funding for courthouse renovations to provide much-needed facilities for an additional courtroom, offices for a 4th judge and staff, as well as upgrades to existing facilities. Construction is expected to commence in the spring. For the judges in Laramie County, help cannot come soon enough. Workload studies show a need for 4.58 district judges. There are only 3. The 3 district judges have been coping with that demand for years. It takes a toll on the judges and their staffs and on the quality of justice in Laramie County. Delays are inevitable. Lives are put on hold. Business transactions remain in limbo. Public trust and confidence in our justice system diminishes. We would urge your support of legislation this year to fund that judicial position. We continue to move forward on the technology front. We've established technology standards for audio and video capability in our courtrooms and jury rooms, fortified by additional revenues resulting from an increase to the court automation fund that you approved last session. We've embarked on an upgrade of our video conferencing equipment and software across the state, allowing courts to more efficiently manage their cases in courtrooms without requiring time-consuming and often costly travel by parties, attorneys, and witnesses. In the past year, our IT staff has replaced every video conferencing unit in the judicial branch. That equipment is already being put to good use in our courtrooms. According to one court reporter discussing a medical malpractice trial, it's just so much better. It makes it much easier for the jury to understand the complicated expert testimony. We've installed new audio systems in 13 courtrooms, enhancing the ability of all interested parties to hear and understand the day-to-day functions of the court. We have taken our first steps towards migration to the cloud, and that will provide greater consistency in service to courts throughout the state and a more efficient and reliable disaster recovery process. We continue to focus upon the implementation of software application systems to enhance case management and management of court records. The new uniform case management system will provide the foundation for electronic filing in our courts. We intend to begin piloting the system later this year. We are in the pilot phase of a new jury management system that will improve our jury management process and provide increased flexibility for communication between courts and potential jurors. Under the new system, court juror contact will be available via email, text messaging, or phone calls. One of the goals, of course, is to lessen the burden on our citizens as they fulfill their civic responsibility when called for jury duty. The system is currently being piloted in 4 courts in the state, and I received an email on Sunday, I believe, indicating that already 6 prospective jurors have taken advantage of that system, and we think that is really going to be a boon for that cumbersome process. In sum, we've made significant progress. Our IT branch under Julie Goen deserves special recognition. They're moving forward on a lot of fronts. We're very proud of what they've accomplished this year. In this budget session, we are seeking additional spending authority to build on the good work that has already been accomplished. I should clarify, just in case you're concerned, that the additional spending authority is coming from a special revenue account, not the general fund. So. As a heads up, I should mention that remote public access to court records will be a focus in the upcoming year. As these projects move forward, we expect that more attention will be paid to that issue. Some may raise questions concerning the confidentiality of some court records. You may be forced to address that issue in future legislative sessions. For our part, we are proceeding with the understanding that access is the preferred path. If it has not been legislatively designated as confidential, access will be permitted. Obviously, our judges will retain the discretionary authority to require confidentiality in specific circumstances. We've also made progress in several areas that I will touch on briefly. Equal Justice Wyoming continues to expand its services. I've emphasized the importance and contributions of Equal Justice Wyoming in past visits with you. One new program warrants mention. In March 2016, Equal Justice launched the Volunteer Reference Attorney Pilot Program in Cheyenne, placing pro bono attorneys in the Laramie County Courthouse to assist self-represented litigants. The attorneys provide legal information, explain court procedures, and assist litigants completing court forms. The program quickly became a success and has now expanded to Casper, Laramie, Sheridan, and Rollins. We anticipate future growth and thank all of the volunteer attorneys. Most of the counties that were eligible for courthouse security funding have applied for those funds and have put them to good use. A recent security assessment for 7 additional counties was completed in the past year, and as expected, it shows a need in those counties. We hope that we can continue the momentum from past sessions and that you will provide assistance for addressing those needs. Our Judicial Learning Center has proven to be a success. We are seeing more visitors to the court than ever before. Teachers have begun using the Learning Center as a platform to tackle more sophisticated lessons during visits. We continue to partner with the education system and are hosting a lesson plans contest that ends April 9th. Around the state, our efforts at public education and judicial outreach also continue. Again, we believe that those efforts are important to improving public trust and confidence in our system of justice. We believe we have a good story to tell, and we need to do all we can to make have people understand how our system works. We've beefed up our judicial orientation and education. A renewed focus in this area will allow our new judges to be better prepared from the outset. And speaking of new judges, during this past year, District Judges Wade Waldrop, John Brooks, and Stephen Cranfield, along with Circuit Judge Jane Aiken, announced their retirements after long and distinguished careers on the bench. They will be missed. Judge Janessa Snyder replaced Judge Waldrop in the 2nd Judicial District in Rollins. Judge Scott Peasley replaced Judge Brooks. Judge Bill Simpson replaced Judge Cranfield. And Susan Stipe will replace Judge Aiken in the 2nd Judicial District in Rollins later this month. All are highly qualified, and we are pleased to welcome them as colleagues. Closer to home, Justice William Hill will also be retiring. He has been a mainstay of this court for nearly 20 years, including 4 years as Chief Justice. He has authored hundreds of opinions, listened to thousands of oral arguments, and throughout has served this court, the judicial branch, and the citizens of this state with dedication and distinction. We will miss him. Please recognize Justice Hill. Lynn Boomgarden has been selected to fill that vacancy. Lynn comes to this court with excellent academic credentials, a broad range of legal experience, and a solid record of civic engagement. She will be an excellent Supreme Court Justice, and we look forward to welcoming her as a colleague. Justice Hill's final day on the court will be this Friday, and Lynn will take office on the following Tuesday, the next business day. This again is a testament to our merit selection process. Vacancies do not remain unfilled. On a more somber note, we must acknowledge the passing of former District Court Judges Bob Rank and Betty Kale. Judge Rank was the first District Court Judge for Teton County. He served the citizens of the 9th Judicial District in Jackson for over 12 years before his retirement in 1989. Judge Kale was the first woman to serve as a county court judge and a district court judge in our state. She was appointed to the bench in 1981. After 2 years at the county level, Judge Kale was appointed a district judge for the 9th Judicial District in Lander, where she served until her retirement in 1994. We will be honoring Judge Kale later today when we unveil her photograph during our dedication of the Equality Wall at the Supreme Court. And Governor, hearing your remarks during your State of the Speech, if you don't have anything else on your calendar, perhaps you could come over also and share a few words about the importance of women in this equality state. We are proud that we've been able to make the progress in these times of economic challenge. As I look back, there are two takeaways. First, very little of that progress would have been possible if you have not seen fit to continue to invest in our branch of government. You are essential partners in the quest for justice in this state. Second, talk of progress now, to some extent, underscores our lack of progress in the past. For example, we now talk about audio improvements in our courtrooms, but those improvements happened only after an assessment that revealed totally inadequate sound systems in many courtrooms throughout the state. On a 10-point scale, many were in the 1 to 2 category. The comment from one of our district judges bears repeating. Abraham Lincoln would have been perfectly at home in my courtroom. How did that happen? There are two basic reasons, I believe. First, responsibility was murky. It was unclear whether it was a state or county responsibility. Second, there were no standards, no requirements to satisfy. We've now adopted standards and taken responsibility. Progress is being made in that area. But we must remain vigilant in all areas. We must not be comfortable with the status quo. We cannot afford to move backwards. The state-county responsibility issue is a difficult one. There is proposed legislation that delineates responsibility for courtroom technology, and we would urge your support of that legislation so that we can continue to move forward in that important area. But there are other areas that appear to be more difficult to resolve. Court security is one. As the assessments that we've obtained in recent years have revealed, there are serious security concerns in many of our courthouses. All who use those facilities are potentially at risk. Progress is not occurring at a satisfactory pace. No one questions the need for the improvements. There are, however, unresolved issues concerning responsibility, funding, and appropriate security standards. We would suggest that this issue as an interim topic so that all stakeholders can be brought together to work towards a solution. There are a host of other challenges, but time does not permit any detailed discussion. I would like to briefly address the public defender issue. In November, I received a letter from Diane Lozano, our state public defender. The letter began, "Dear Chief Justice Burke, I am writing to let you know that the public defender caseloads are at crisis levels, both trial and appellate." The letter went on to detail a situation that is very concerning. It is one that goes right to the heart of our constitutional guarantees and constitutional responsibilities. If there is not a solution, the fallout will be severe for the judiciary and its ability to manage the docket, for those accused of crimes who are presumed innocent and may be unable to obtain legal representation, and for our citizens whose safety may be jeopardized if criminal prosecutions are derailed. This is not a situation that can be ignored. Our public defenders are a crucial component of our justice system. To the extent that you feel that you would benefit from our own input, just let us know. Our judges are available. This will be my final State of the Judiciary. It has been an indescribable honor to have served as Chief Justice. During that time, I've come to have a greater appreciation for the many moving parts that are in play and must be coordinated for an effective judicial branch of government. There must be buy-in from so many to effectuate progress. I've also come to realize that we are very fortunate in this state. We can talk. We can work together. There is, I believe, a commitment to a common goal of a justice system that works for the citizens of this state. Governor, again, I want to thank you for the respect and support you have provided the judiciary throughout your tenure as governor. As I said many times before, it is one thing for judges to talk about the importance of an effective judicial branch. It is quite another for the leader of the executive branch to do the same. I believe that your support makes a difference. It builds public trust and confidence in the judiciary of our state, and ultimately I believe that positively impacts public perception of our state government as a whole. To the members of the judiciary, I cannot tell you how much I admire you and the important work that you do. As I said many times last year, our circuit judges are the unsung heroes of our branch. We continue to ask more, and they continue to deliver. As we all know, our district judges are our general jurisdiction judges. They are the backbone of our judiciary. We place tremendous responsibilities on their shoulders, and time and again, on a daily basis, they have demonstrated that they are up to the challenge. We owe them a great deal. To my colleagues on the Supreme Court, Justices Hill, Fox, Couts, and Davis, it has been an honor to serve with you. All our leaders, all have taken on extra responsibilities. Much of what has been accomplished is attributable to their efforts. Justice Davis will be our next Chief Justice. He will be wonderful. He will continue to move us forward. And finally, our judicial branch employees. This is the most difficult part of the speech for me. Anything that I say would be inadequate. It's one thing to obtain funding. It's quite another to implement new programs. You're the reason we've accomplished so much. Personally, I find the dedication of our judicial branch employees to be inspirational. They are the best. They are the best. In closing, I would like to read a passage from a book. I think it captures the point I've been trying to make. The author of the book is Daniel James Brown. The title is The Boys in the Boat. It's the true story of 9 University of Washington students who rowed crew during the Depression in the 1930s and their epic quest for the gold medal in the 1936 Olympics in Hitler's Berlin. It's an ensemble piece, but the main character is Joe Rance, one of the boys in the boat. The author interviewed Joe shortly before his death at the age of 93. The author writes this: "It was when he tried to talk about the boat that his words began to falter and tears welled up in his eyes. Finally, watching Joe struggle for composure over and over, I realized that the boat was something more than just the shell or its crew. To Joe, it encompassed but transcended both. It was something mysterious and almost beyond definition. It was a shared experience, a singular thing that had unfolded in a golden sliver of time long gone, when 9 good-hearted young men strove together, pulled together as one, gave everything they had for one another, bound together forever by pride and respect and love. Joe was crying, at least in part, for the loss of that vanished moment, but much more, I think, for the sheer beauty of it. I wondered about including that last sentence of the quote until I realized that the moment for Joe Rance was not just crossing the finish line. It was the entire endeavor. For Justice Hill, the moment has lasted 20 years. During that time, he has made important and lasting contributions to our system of justice. For the students I mentioned at the beginning, their moment is yet to come. Our system is where it is at today because others before us, in their moment, understood the importance of a properly functioning judicial system to our way of life. We are reaping the benefits of the investments they made long ago. Our moment is now. We are all in this together. We must continue to move forward to preserve and build on their efforts. It's an honor to be part of that journey with all of you. Thank you again for the opportunity to visit with you this morning and for all that you do for the judicial branch and the state of Wyoming. We wish you well in this legislative session. Good luck and Godspeed.